The Symons Recreation Complex is our subject on this next part of the morning show, and in particular, the Symons Recreation Complex Foundation. Joining us in the studio is Al Lenz, a member of that organization, and he's also brought along friends Mike Hardy, director, and Kyle Ewing, assistant director. Al, it's a big time for the Symons. You've got kind of a push going on for membership and for donations.
Yes, we do. The foundation board started talking about having a fundraiser back in May or June of this year. You know, the foundation, as many people know, has donated about $50,000 worth of $50,000 toward equipment and facilities improvements over the past 2 years. And there's been, just a significant improvement. So we want to have this fundraiser to help replenish our funds. When we started talking about it, a friend, I think word got around in our little circle, and a friend of mine approached me and said, "Hey, Al, I know this person who wants to remain anonymous, but they would like to do a $25,000 match for your fundraising campaign," which is huge. And I have no idea who this person is, and I really want to thank them for making this a very significant contribution. If we can raise $25,000 along with that $25,000 match, that will be $50,000, which the Symons Foundation can again put toward improvements at the Symons facility over the next year. It's some of the donations that we have done over the past 2 years. There's been a number of pieces of new exercise equipment. Some of those pieces are inclusive, where people who are physically challenged can use. There's a cross-country ski machine. There's been new treadmills, recumbent bikes, some weight racks to help tidy up the weight room. There's been 5 big screen TVs that have gone in to share information in the facility. The sign out by Highway 14 was refurbished. There's been some seats put into the locker rooms for people who are physically challenged so they can sit down in the shower and change. There's been new furniture put in the atrium, inflatables in the pool area, and a coffee bar. And, there was also, the county also popped for a new concrete sidewalk in front of the, approach to Symons, and so I just want to thank the county and the city, for all the support that they've given Symons over the past 2 years, because it's really made a difference. Our membership numbers, Mike will probably touch on this later, but membership numbers are up, daily visits are up. I'm seeing people come in there that are new to the complex. It's a really exciting time at Symons right now, and we're hoping to continue that momentum with this fundraising campaign.
Awesome. Mike, what about that membership? Has it been looking pretty good at Symons?
Yeah, over the last 2 years, like I was saying, we're up. We've actually seen about a 20% increase in membership over the last 2 years. So our membership is up over closer to pre-COVID numbers, so we're back to those numbers. We've got about 1,700 members during the summer and about 2,400 members during the winter months. Our visits, like I was saying, those are up as well. We see about 7,000 visits a month, which is a little over 250 average per day, visits per day. So that membership is up, and we are pretty busy. We've got a lot of new classes that are going on, land and water aerobics classes. So those are very popular. Our Mondays, Wednesdays are some of our more popular days. We've always got classes going on. Kyle has been running a lot of swim lessons, so those are very popular. Obviously, the pool is kind of our anchor there. We're seeing a lot of members, and so that brings about some more challenges and some of those priorities and reasons why we need to keep this fundraising going. Some of our priorities are, improving the locker rooms that we have, kind of upgrades to the locker rooms and adding family locker rooms. So that's kind of a higher price tag, but that's been a priority for several years, and with having higher membership and more people visiting, obviously we need more space for things like that. And so we're kind of looking at some of the internal space. Expanding our weight room is another priority that we've been looking at, and kind of meeting the needs and the requests of the members that we have been getting to continue that push and being able to continue to accommodate the new members that we do have out there.
Do you write like a wish list and then slip it to Al, in the foundation and say?
We do, yeah. We have monthly meetings, and they look to Kyle and myself, every month, and they say, okay, what do you want this month? And here, here's the check. So they've been really good about that, and I don't think they've told us no yet, but that's kind of why they need to replenish some of these. Some of their bank account, because Kyle and I have been draining it slowly over the past couple of years. But that has met some of the requests of the members. So that's been really helpful between the city and the county contribution as well as the foundation's contributions.
There's some exciting things coming up at the facility. Let's talk a little bit about Pumpkin Fest is coming up soon, Kyle.
Yeah, Pumpkin Fest. Excuse me. Should be a very event-filled weekend. There's a lot going on that weekend, but we're going to have a 5K, 10K. And then a 1.5 mile walk on that day, Saturday, October 26th. Lots of events going on that day. That's going to be our open house weekend, too. So we'll have the run in the morning, open house. We're working on some other things. We're going to have a pool party starting around noonish that day. That'll go for a couple hours, so that'll just be free to members, and then regular daily amount for anybody not. But we'll have the inflatables in. Those are always a good time. So we're hoping we'll get some people that will do the run, stick around, maybe go jump in the pool afterwards. Maybe we get a lot of people who want to go on those inflatables when they see them outside of the water. So now this is their chance to maybe go on them when they're in the water. So yeah.
Mike mentioned you've been doing some swim lessons. What are the numbers like in those classes?
Yeah, I mean, swim lessons, essentially we're capped. We get more requests than we can meet the demand for. So always highly requested, but we always need swim instructors. So if anybody out there is listening that has an interest, our demand is always beyond what we can fulfill. So those numbers are always good. I mean, I guess that's a good problem to have. At least when you're going to run a program, it's always going to be filled, and you don't have to worry about cutting anything. So.
How do people sign up for the run during the Pumpkin Fest event?
So you can sign up on our website right now. There's a link that will take you into a form that you can fill out, and then you can even make payment online. If you're not an online kind of person that you don't want to do it that way, we have forms that you can come in, just pick up, and you can make payment right at our front desk when you come in too. So early registration for that is before October 1st. And we have kind of tiered levels. So then if you, tier 2 is, any time in the month of October until the event would be the next one. And then obviously registration the day of goes a little bit too. So it should be a fun event. I mean, it's going to be, an officially timed event. We work together with some of the other 5K, 10K running event groups in the area, and we have the official timing system. So we're hoping we'll get some good numbers, at least to make it worth everyone's while.
Yeah, I saw it used at Grace. I saw it used at National Night Out, and it really does. It kind of makes that event even more special now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, and then you don't have to worry about people, hand timing anything either, or just for fun. There's always that aspect of a little bit of an official competition that it brings in more people than maybe just your area, and I think that's kind of what we're hoping for. We'll get some surrounding community people that really get into the 5Ks. Especially that time of year, it's a great time to run a 5K in, late October versus the middle of summer. So yeah, we're hoping we'll get strong numbers for that.
You gonna have shirts?
Yep, shirts.
All right.
Yep, shirts available with early registration. Yeah, so we're just getting those all finalized now.
Perfect. Al, I got to wonder, how is recap your story. How's an old country boy wind up in Richland Center at the Symons Recreation Complex?
I turned 60, and I realized that my physical condition, my balance, my strength, my coordination, everything was just declining. And my wife had been coming to Symons to swim, and so I decided I've got to do something. And so I've been coming to Symons now for probably close to 2 years. Right now I'm taking classes early in the morning, Mondays and Wednesdays. It's with Courtney at 6 a.m. and Tuesdays and Thursdays with Lydia at 5:30 a.m. And these are strength and stamina classes and coordination is how I would describe them. And while I haven't lost a lot of weight, I can tell that my physical condition it's gaining. My strength is getting better, and so is my balance and coordination. So that's how an old country boy found his way to town.
Instead of getting up to go to the barn, though, you're getting up to go to Symons about the same time.
Well, about the same time. I'm rolling by WRCO when you're playing the polka.
Polka?
Yeah. So, I try and talk Courtney and Lydia into playing, some country music, and so far they've just ignored me.
Okay. Well, maybe you can work on that.
I will continue to work on them, but no, they're wonderful instructors, and as are all the instructors at Symons. Excuse me. So it's been an improvement for me personally. And anyone who's out or thinking about it, I would encourage them to consider it. I mean, there's enough success stories coming out of Symons, people improving their physical well-being, that it's just really gratifying to be part of this foundation that's able to help support that. And when we were folding up the letters to mail out to our members and to area businesses, I was gratified to see the number of people that were coming into Symons in the middle of the day. And there was even some people who had mobility issues that were using walkers, and that's exactly why we want to help everybody, but it's especially the population. We're trying to be welcoming to everyone, whatever their physical abilities are. We want everyone to take advantage of what Symons has to offer.
If you are a donor, you get a name displayed.
Well, what our plan is to we've got different levels of giving, and so that depending on how much either a business or an individual donates, their name will go up on a banner in the big white wall in the pool area. So they will be recognized for the next year over their contribution. And of course, if people want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. But we want to recognize the donors that are making this contribution to Symons. And just quick extra note here. There's a number of different ways that people can donate. That you can just write a check or use their debit or credit cards on the Symons website. We've got PayPal set up, and there's also one of our board members is working on Venmo as well. So, and if there are some people out there who need to take mandatory distributions from their IRA, or they have a donor-advised fund. The Symons Recreation Complex Foundation is a 501c3, so we can accept those donations, but the funds will probably need some information from us, like our federal ID number and our address, to verify that the foundation is a legitimate organization. And so, they can just, if someone's interested in doing that, they can contact Mike or Kyle, and they can either take care of that, or they can put them in touch with me, and I'll help them down that path.
Mike, if a business is interested in partnering up, how do they go about that?
So we've worked with several businesses, and we can work with them individually to set up something that works well for their business, something that can work with their employees. For example, we do have some businesses that do offer employee programs where they get reduced memberships at Symons for their employees, and obviously for a larger company, that can help with their insurance rates. That can help for the health of their employees coming in, knowing that they've got this membership through Symons where they can work on their health and that type of thing. One other thing that I did want to mention that you talked to Kyle a little bit about swim lessons and hearing from Al about some of the donations and what those have gone for, some of the equipment upgrades and that type of thing. One of the other important things is that we do use a lot of these donations for a lot of our programs. And it's not just members that donate to us. It's a lot of non-members or people from the community that like to see these programs. For example, a couple of the recent donations that we received $3,000 from the Richland Campus Community Foundation, as well as $10,000 from the Sawi Foundation. And the Sawi Foundation is a foundation that they donate to communities that they have businesses or companies in. And for us, Seats is here in Richland Center, and because Seats is part of the Sawi family, we're eligible for those some of those grant funds. So we did get $10,000 from the Sawi Family Foundation and $3,000 from the Richland Campus Foundation, and that $13,000 is what's paying for free swim lessons for third graders in the community. Right now, we're working with St. Mary's has agreed they're going to be coming in all of their third graders. They've got 18 third graders that Kyle is working on setting up free swim lessons for those kids this fall, and we're working with Steve Board in the Richland School District, and they've got about 80 or so third graders that will be coming in at some point during this school year, and they'll get free swim lessons, free transportation, and free swim lessons for those families. We're trying to expand that to Eagle School, to home schools, and then in the future, we're hoping that we have enough funds that we can expand it to Ithaca and other schools in the Richland County area. So those are other things that these donations go towards. So if people aren't a member, or if a business doesn't have a membership in Symons, we are using funds and working with these foundations and these donors to set up programs as well, for free swim lessons, for reduced memberships for kids as well. So, and we're the only place in the county that does offer swim lessons for kids. It's something that's very important for us to make sure that kids and families have the opportunity for access to swim lessons, or at least introduction to water safety classes. So that's just one program that these donations are going towards.
Yeah, you talk about how many people you could actually benefit and save in the case of learning to swim, learning to save yourself, learning to save another person, and those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. And with having the Pine River and the Wisconsin River here, and we hear every once in a while you hear about someone that had been canoeing or kayaking, and maybe they weren't able to swim and they fell in, and unfortunately something bad happened. But if we can give everyone that introduction to swim to water safety, that way they learn the respect for water, and so they don't have that fear necessarily, and they understand before they get close to the water. Kind of some of those initial introductory water safety procedures.
What about the gym at the campus? You guys utilizing that yet?
Yeah, we figured you'd be asking about that again.
Yeah, that's my favorite question.
Your favorite question, yeah. The Symons and the school district have been cooperating for using that, and I know the school's been in there quite a bit, and they've been making really good use of it, and we've been co-scheduling with them, and so the school generally has after school hours they're using it a lot for volleyball now, and that's really helped them out a lot, and we're happy to see that. And
middle school volleyball was there last night.
Middle school volleyball, yeah, they've been really using that, and that's helped them out a lot, having that space, and I know they've got that available for soccer practices if they have inclement weather, and they'll be using it a lot for basketball as well, so that'll be a real big need. We're going to start using it probably in October here. We're working on our scheduling now. During the day, we've got some pickleball leagues that want to start up in there. A few people have mentioned to me that they're happy to see that the gym's going to be used, because they've had some difficulty getting into the community center for walking during the winter, because of the great demand that has between pickleball and walkers. And so we're going to have some opportunities for some open gyms, some walking, some pickleball, that type of thing. But it's been a really good collaboration with the school district. We're happy to work with them, and it's going to be able to use that gym as much as possible, and to use it between a couple of organizations that do help the community use. So yeah, we're excited to be able to bring more activities there in the future. So
staffing wise, you'll have to have somebody in the gym at the same time. I'm guessing it's being used then, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. It will be either a staff person or a volunteer person, depending on what program's in there, just because of the way the setup is right now. But with the programming that we do have, it's not going to add any additional expense to the budget at this point. Right now, we've got it kind of the format in such a way that it's not going to add additional staffing. It will just be something that we'll be able to incorporate in our current budget.
Well, that's exciting. So we look to the future. Any other goals you'd like to talk about for the foundation now?
The foundation's just going to continue to try and support Mike and Kyle and everybody else at Symons, and I just want to compliment them for the great ideas that they've brought forth to us. I mean, some of the things like the inflatables, I had no idea that they would be as popular as they have been, but there's been a lot of birthday parties going on out at Symons. I'm really glad to hear that. I just do want to thank all the donors in advance, for their support of Symons, and whoever the $25,000 anonymous donor is, thank you very much. You have done a great service for the Symons Foundation and the Symons Complex, and I just want to give my sincere thanks.
Absolutely, and for you and the $50,000 goal, I mean, it's still, you got to work at it, but you'll get there a little faster if we can get to 25.
Yeah, I mean, $1 turns into $2 automatically.
Right. Exactly. Good point. I know, Mike, you're going to be involved there's a community forum coming up on September 29th. You'll be involved in that again, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah, and we'll be able to kind of detail a little bit more about what's going on. Obviously the school district and the county and the city will have their projects as well, but there's a lot of collaboration that we do have going on. For example, there's an innovation grant study that will be going on that's in cooperation with the county and the city. The city wrote a grant, received that grant, and we're actually reviewing the RFPs now that we received back on that. That innovation grant that project is going to kind of better define how Symons operates and how we can better be more sustainable and more efficient in our operations as we look to tighter budgets. And the city and the county both do an excellent job in supporting us, but they have more and more challenges every year trying to make that tax dollar stretch further. And the foundation, that's where the foundation has really stepped in with their donors and really helped out a lot. So we'll be talking more about that innovation grant, some of that study, how that's going, as well as Venture Architects is doing a study on Symons as well for some of the facility needs and where that's at. So we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more, as well as some of the upcoming programs that we have, and with the foundation a little bit more about some donor opportunities and some special events that we have coming up.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming in, you guys.
And just one thing I'd like to add is the foundation is creating an endowment fund now as well, so that if someone wants to donate to that, because we recognize, as Mike shared, the city and the county are, having continued pressure on their budgets. The idea behind the endowment fund is to help support Symons, in perpetuity. And so if someone donates money to the endowment fund, the money they donate will never be touched. Only the interest that's generated off that money will be used. So that's another option for people to consider when they're donating money in this fundraiser and in the future.
We hope they will. In fact, Kyle Ewing had to bug out. I think he was almost late for class, wasn't he, or something? So, so he was here a little earlier. Assistant Director Mike Hardy, Director, and Al Linz, member of the foundation. Have a great day, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You bet.